Well, this is really quiet here, and of course Babe is in the trailer. I just loaded her up. We just got back from a trail ride. We're out here by a place called Spring Creek, and it's a pretty nice area. It's just this is one of the areas that I like to come and also just hike around the lake, and the headwaters are just right up here. And this area, fishing, you can literally walk across the pad there. It's some pretty interesting things going on here. And this is a campground, a camp area. We've sometimes brought the horses up here. Over here, it turns into a larger lake. This is kind of the confluence that turns into the Spring Creek itself and flows down into probably the Klamath River. That kind of thing. It's a very nice area. It's calm, it's mellow. There's hunting and all that stuff over on that side. Over here, there's a lot of trails and a lot of wildlife. A lot of bear. There's cougar right up the road. There's, I don't know, you name it. And it's here. This is a good ecological system. When we talk about the ecological process and the system itself, we're talking about things exactly like this. The water's clean, it's very pure. The trees, they're all pretty much healthy. Some are in dormancy, some aren't. Very old trees, these are about 80 footers. And across the way, of course, the spring is filled with a lot of the down trees, which are part of the ecological process. When we have healthy water, we can start actually be within the parameters of an ecological system that can be self-serving. And what I mean by self-serving is we can create a lot of diversity here within, say, oh, I don't know, this could be a sanctuary for wildlife, let's say, for a 150-mile radius. We can do that here because this is really deep in the woods. Babe and I just came from the confluence of this river, and we rode back down over the walking trail. It's used as hiking and horse trails and that kind of thing, so that's not any different than anything else, but a lot of it's along the lake itself, and then it kind of dead ends here, and it gets down to canyons and that kind of thing from here down to the Klamath River. So, but what I want to emphasize here is this is the kind of habitat, you can see that there's not many people here. There never is. Maybe on the weekend, Labor Day weekend, 4th of July, you know, this packs out. There's also some sites over there that get packed out. But the overall arrangement here is that it's isolated because it's so far in. We're 15, 18 miles in right now. And it's just a logging road out there that we come down. And diversity can be established here, say on a 100 to 150 mile radius. Even a 75-mile radius. We can have diversity here that can be a proponent toward moderation in all types of populations, including wild horses. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with diversity. There's nothing wrong with wildlife being wildlife. Not at all. Not in anybody's mind. If you think there is, then basically you're an idiot. I mean, I can't explain it any other way. But the ideology of moderation of population and a sanctuary setting with diversity, cougar, wolves, bears, all the mid-sized predators as well, skunks on down the line there, and the smaller prey. And, you know, then you have a predator-prey relationship. That's the way wildlife is. That's what creates this. Without that, you have viruses. When you fence in horses, you have bacteria, virus compounded with fencing in wildlife, which is unimaginable. Not only for the wildlife, but for the people that understand wildlife and out here and live with wildlife. You fence in wild horses, you're going to have bacteria, viruses, all kinds of things, bots. Horses are going to basically, after a while, when a horse gets depressed, they also become relatively suicidal. I mean, that's the way it is. And when you break down their immune system, any wildlife, any species, and it's underpopulated, and you use fertility control, and you break down the immune system to use that fertility control, you're basically, you're going to harm this. This is the last result, yes, but it's going to be harmed. It's going to be detrimental to these areas, to these ecological systems, to the moderation in population. People are just going to have to open up their minds. This is a beautiful area, and it creates a lot. I have never seen this downtrodden for the simple fact that it's kind of left alone because it is isolated, and they haven't cut here, and there's no cattle. Isn't that interesting? No cattle, no logging, no mining, there's no oil. What now? You know, we have a habitat that's healthy. We have diversity in the wildlife that's around here. Just coming off the trail, I was seeing some pretty good sized cougar tracks. So the cougar here get pretty good size. I mean, their paw prints are the size of my head, for crying out loud. And the bears, the black bears, get up to 200, 250. So anyway, I just wanted to let you see this.